The capture and prosecution of Nicolás Maduro has sent a message throughout the world. This administration will stop at nothing to protect its citizens. There's zero tolerance for those trafficking drugs into our country. You will be punished to the fullest extent of our American justice system. And while Venezuela's future remains uncertain, there's no question that the country's people have been liberated from this rogue regime. And DEA Administrator Terry Cole escorted Maduro in cuffs upon his arrival in the U.S. He described those moments during our conversation in Washington. Terry Cole, welcome back to the show. We're so excited to talk to you again, especially after a successful mission, absolute resolve. Congratulations on that, first and foremost. We got to see you right there beside Nicolás Maduro, escorting him onto U.S. soil. So give us a sense, what was that moment like for you? You know, as the DEA administrator, you've been working so hard since your confirmation to ensure that we get these illicit drugs off the streets of America, that we hold people accountable. What was that moment like?
So thank you for having me, and Happy New Year.
Thank you.
It was great to be there to represent the DEA. It was great to represent the American citizens. And all I could think about is, how many lives did we just save? Through the amazing work from the Department of War, from the State Department, to the IC community, but to the men and women at DEA that have pursued this monster, this organization, this designated terrorist organization that continues to send poison to our country. All I could think about is, job well done, Mr. President. Job well done, our warriors that are on the front lines every single day. But there was just so much pride.
Obviously, I think a lot of people look at what you did and they felt a lot of pride as well. They say, we got a monster off the street, we're prosecuting him here for the crimes he committed. And you would think that most people would agree with that, but not everyone agreed with that. What is your response to that?
So when you look at specifically this organization, when you look at Maduro, and you look at the terrorists that he deals with, right? He controls TDA, he controls Cartel de Soles, but more importantly, he has this deadly nexus with the FARC. He has this deadly nexus with ELN. He deals directly with the Sinaloa cartel. He deals directly with CJNG. He deals directly with the Zetas when they were around. And they're all terrorist organizations. There are organizations that look forward to sending this poison to our country to enrich themselves, to enrich their terrorist organizations, and to kill Americans. And I think when you look at it in a much bigger perspective, he's invited the Iranians into Venezuela. He's invited the Russians into Venezuela.
That's right.
As we heard during the debriefing, he was being guarded by the Cubans. So you have the nexus of terror right there in Venezuela, working with the terrorist organizations in Colombia to send narcotics to the United States to kill Americans. And at DEA, we are back to global operations. We are back to working with our partners in foreign countries, specifically in the Western Hemisphere. They are asking for our help. They are asking us to deal with these foreign terrorists. And DEA has been in these areas for over 40 years. This is unwavering support for our foreign host nations that want to combat narco traffickers, that want to combat terrorists in their country, and support the United States as well.
Well, and I think it probably also sends a message loud and clear to any adversary around the world, whether it's in that part of the world, whether we're talking about the other drug cartels you just mentioned. You know, Mexico's President Claudia Sheinbaum has also condemned Maduro's capture. And she says, in the past, she said that she wants to stop the fentanyl production. She wants to keep it from going out to the rest of the world. We know a lot of it originates there in Mexico. President Trump has said that he doesn't actually believe she's the one who's running the country of Mexico. He believes it's the drug cartels. So what kind of a message does Maduro's capture send to those kind of dark underground organizations, to the other drug cartels out there?
So President Trump has been very clear, not only with the world, but with federal law enforcement, that we are going to protect our citizens, that we are going to defend our national security, and we are going to hold these foreign terrorists accountable. It doesn't matter where they are. If it's in Central America, if it's in Cuba, if it's in Venezuela, if it's anywhere in the Western Hemisphere that is directly affecting the safety and security of the American citizens, we will hunt them down and we will hold them accountable. And when I joined DEA 25 years ago, that's why I joined DEA. I joined DEA for the international footprint, to work with host nation partners that want the same thing that we want: safety, prosperity for our kids and for our countries.
Well, and I think people are looking at Colombia as well, which we know Colombia, of course, exports around 2,000 tons of cocaine a year. Obviously, you've got Maduro. How do you go about stopping the flow of drugs now out of places like Colombia as well?
Well, I think with the Department of War's engagement and a strong Secretary of State, we are dealing with these problems head on. And we have unwavering support from the Attorney General as well. Pam Bondi has been an amazing supporter of not only DEA, but federal law enforcement. Her and Todd Blanche are on the front lines with us every single day and have given us every single resource to address these issues. But with the engagement from the Department of War, this has changed the equation. Everybody is on notice. And at DEA, we are supporting all this engagement with our federal partners, with the Department of War, with the intel community, with the sole purpose of protecting our kids, protecting our national security, and holding them accountable.
Well, I know the people of Venezuela are incredibly grateful. You saw celebrations around the world from Venezuelans, from people who, are just freedom fighters in their own right, for the really feels like the liberation of the Venezuelan people. But there are a lot of questions about what happens next there in Venezuela. You have Maduro's VP, Delcy Rodriguez, who's now the acting president. And we've learned that apparently Venezuelan authorities have been ordered to arrest anyone involved in supporting U.S. military operations. What do you see as potentially happening there? I think everyone's wondering what happens next in Venezuela.
Yeah, I potentially see us under the direction of the Secretary of State of reopening some type of embassy in Venezuela. And we are committed at DEA to fully supporting the direction of the President, the direction of the Secretary of State, Department of War, to assist in whatever we can do. You said it perfectly. The Venezuelan people, they want change. They don't want terrorists in their country. They want peace. They want prosperity. And I think as a U.S. government, we have the ability to help them. We have the ability to assist them. And that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, and it's amazing to see this president not only ending conflicts around the world, but now it seems like liberating people and allowing people who had lived under the thumb of communism and this dictator for so long to have hope for a better future. Something else that I think a lot of people look at, we talked about fentanyl. I know that at the DEA, I walked those halls with you. We walked the halls and we looked at the faces of fentanyl, people whose lives and entire families whose lives have been changed because of the deaths fentanyl causes. About a month ago, you stood side by side with President Trump whenever he designated fentanyl as a weapon of mass destruction. What are the next steps now that you are able to take now that it has that designation? How does that impact things?
The president gave us another tool, and that tool is being used to save Americans. That's the important piece here. The president understands the safety and security of our people here in the United States. When we talk about fentanyl, and next week, DEA is kicking off Fentanyl Free America once again. We are on the aggressive stance of prevention, of education, but enforcement as well. And I think those are powerful tools to hold people accountable, but to also educate people and give people the opportunity to find help, because it's so critical to end this epidemic here in the United States. These poisonings need to stop. And under this president, with securing the border, with giving law enforcement tools, to standing up to these dictators, these communists, that we're not going to take this anymore, that we're going to hold you accountable, we're going to bring you to justice, whether it's the law enforcement aspect or by the military and law enforcement and the IC and diplomatic pressure, it's going to happen. He's true to his word, and he's here to protect the United States.
Well, I know there are so many families out there who are grateful someone has finally taken the steps to end this plague on our country. This president, with the assistance of you as the DEA Administrator Terry Cole. So Thank you for your part in this. Thank you, your entire agency. The men and women who work there have done incredible work, and we appreciate you being with us. Thank you.
Well, thank you for shining a light on this and being a true advocate. And I know this is critically important to you and your family because we need to save these kids.
Amen.